All righty, looks like I'm live finally. This was an impromptu kind of spur of the moment guidance to go live today. I was not planning on this. So I only put this up and posted it about an hour and 15 minutes ago. So short notice for anybody who may want to join me, but I am going to give it just a minute here to, I'm going to check all the connections, make sure that I am actually, yep, I'm live there on YouTube. I'm going to check to see if I'm live on Facebook. Let's see. Yep, there I am. I think. Yep, there I am. Get back to the studio. Hello, hello, Kathy. Couldn't see you on the other one. Huh. Through Facebook. It looks like you're on Facebook. I just checked and they're both there. They're both on and working. So we should be good across the board on Facebook. On YouTube, I should get the microphone in front of my head. It took a minute to get us started here because I was out with the dogs. We were playing. They got extra dirty, so they had to get extra wet there at the end. And I had to dry them, and the German Shepherds, so it takes a minute, and they just want to play. It's all they want to do is play and wrestle and play and wrestle. And that's basically the beginning and the end of it. Time is moving very, very. Oh, you see me now. Oh, okay. This is so confusing. How weird. But I'm glad you see me now. Hello, hello. Good to see you too. Hopefully more people will come. But that's okay if they don't. I always want more the merrier. You know what I mean? More the merrier. Am I like, oh my gosh, look at how washed out I am. Let me turn down the brightness here. Give me just a second. I didn't have any time to do this ahead of time. I thought we'd get back a little bit sooner, but you know, when we go and play ball, now I have so many chuck it balls, medium and large, ultra chuck it balls for the dogs that I don't even know how many I have at this point. I got a bucket. I got so many because they're Chacho's favorite thing. They're her favorite thing to fetch. They don't get destroyed. They do disappear. I swear to God, I have a phantom ball or a ball phantom. Yeah, I've decided there's a ball phantom on the property because balls will just like disappear and reappear. Like it's freaky. But I tend to look for the balls and fetch the balls just as much as the dogs do. Cora loves to go and fetch, and then instead of bringing them all the way back to me, she drops them like 30 feet in front of me in any direction. I'm like, where's the ball? You little shit. But anyway, we played ball, and so now you might see them maybe in the background. Oh yeah, I don't do this enough. Here we go. I forgot that I could do this. And I've got to do this more often. But we've got comments. Are my dogs and cats vegan? No, they're definitely not vegan. That's hilarious. Dogs and cats are not supposed to be vegan. It's not good for them to be vegan. I wish it was good for them to be vegan. So I didn't have to deal with meat because I have to deal with meat a lot more than I would ever want to. But it is a good question. But dogs and cats just really should not be vegan. They're animals. They're carnivores. Cats even more than dogs. Dogs could get away with the vegan diet more, but that's not right. They need to eat meat. They eat bones and chewies and all. I mean, the amount of meat shit that I buy for these animals, cats and dogs, it's a lot, but that's what's good for them. And I buy them really good stuff. But anyway, hi. Hello. Happy full moon in Leo, everybody. Let's get this show on the road. Please comment and let me know if you're here. Otherwise, I don't know if you're here. So you're like this stranger looking in on my party. Join the party. Come on in. You're welcome to come on in. Tell me that you're here. Happy full moon, everybody. This is such exciting energy for this full moon. It is the first full moon or new moon that, like I put in the description here, the first full moon or new moon that I've been guided to do a live for after doing lives for both full moon and new moon. For those of you that are new to me, after doing lives for full moon and new moon for years, rarely missing either one, plus eclipses and stargates and solstices and all the, equinox and whatever other lives I've been guided to do over the years. Every single full moon, every single new moon, I would be live doing an energy update, doing oracle, either a collective oracle reading or even individual oracle readings, and then a spirit walk, astral guided, channeled energy healing meditation. But it's been months. I think it's been, what did that say? What was the last one? I think it was, I think the last full moon one I did was in May. And same thing for new moon. I just got that taken off of the to-do list by our guides and guardians. There's so many other things going on with me moving from Southern to Northern California and all the things that came with that since then, and just beyond life-changing busyness and so anyhow, this is the first hey, there's Ryan. You're working, but want to say hi, Lovey. Hello. This is the first full moon that I have been guided to do, like I said, in a long time. So that in itself says something. It's the first full moon of 2024. Very, very potent energies. Very, very potent energies. I've been feeling and getting messages trickling in since I think Friday or somewhere around Friday or Saturday. Things would just pop in, or I would wake up at night and just feel these energies and messages coming through. But it was like pieces of paragraphs that eventually needed to come together. It was a slow burn. Let me just say that when it came to really illuminating me and my consciousness as to what's going on with this first full moon in Leo for January 24. And let me tell you, peeps, it is a big one. Like, wowza. This one is really what's coming through is earth shattering, and not in a bad way, in a really productive, reconstructive kind of way, reality bending, reality shifting, paradigm shifting. It is connecting back, because it's Leo, right? Leo full moon. It's connecting back to the Lion's Gate, 8/8 to 8/16, 2024. If you have not done, and if you weren't at my live for the Lion's Gate, if you didn't do the spirit walk for the Lion's Gate, I highly suggest that you do that. And that would be, that was on my Facebook. Let me see if I can find that. Can you find posts on your Facebook group? I meant to do this before I started, but time has been moving. Like I said earlier, time has been moving by. If somebody else can find this on my YouTube, on my Facebook or something, if you have time. If not, I will get it later. It was on 8/8. I did a live, I did an energy update, and I facilitated the Lion's Gate Spirit Walk activation, which was extremely powerful, very very intense energies, activations, integrations that we had for the Lionsgate. And just because that was in August doesn't mean that it's expired work that you have missed. You can go and do that at any time. And I suggest that you do that if you have not yet. And even if you have, and even if you were there live with me, that you go back and you do that spirit walk, but watch the whole live, because I get oracle cards, we get messages, I do channeling. It's a whole thing that I do in my lives, especially for events like the Lionsgate. One of the biggest events of the year is the Lionsgate, and that Lionsgate is connecting to this first full moon illumination of the year 2024 here. This is a year where we are really starting to put more of the foundation down on the space that we're building our new timelines on. And Stargates are all about dissolving, creating, and solidifying timelines. So Stargates, I'll call them they're called Stargates, but I'll call them portals sometimes. They're kind of interchangeable. But again, they're for creating, dissolving, and solidifying your timelines. And what that does is, and we have Stargates every single month, but some of the Stargates, just like some of the full moon, just like some of the new moons, just like some of the eclipses and solstices and all the good stuff, transits, alignments, some are more powerful than others. That's just the way that it rolls. They can't all be as equally powerful, or else, our brains would like burst out of our bodies or something. I don't even know. Like, some need to be a lot more low key than others, because we've had these big waves of energies, and then we need to integrate and get everything in order from the upheaval of the intensity. Sometimes we just have what I call a fat burger, just a stacked burger of all different layers, like a full moon, a Stargate, a transit, a solstice, like within like 2 days of each other. You're just like, are you serious right now? So those things will happen. And I believe there was something going on like that with this last Lionsgate, but holy shit, man, I can't remember this stuff from month to month, let alone, 6 months, because it's so much. It is literally so much that happens. And that, spiritually, energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, for sure. One of the things that's been going on big time this week with this, I almost said Stargate, because it is Stargate energy. It is not only Stargate, but Lionsgate energy with this full moon. And tell me if please put in the comments, tell me if you've been experiencing this, where time is moving by super duper fast, really fast these last like 5 days, especially the last 3 days. It's just been like very, very fast moving time. So if you've been experiencing that, please say so in the comments. I'm curious how many are experiencing that as well. I sure have. It's been really, really, really fast moving. And that's not my favorite. I really like it when time was really slowly, because I can just get so much more done. And that is the thing. It's not a matter of perception. It is an actual thing. And when we have these big galactic events, cosmic lunar events that converge with light codes and all sorts of spiritual puppeteering going on for us. Who's this? Barbara, yes, time is accelerating. Holy yes, so much. Anybody else? Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Yes, time. Yeah, and it's like, if you can imagine, it's like a vacuum. So it's like, just imagine a hose vacuuming, and stuff that's way far away from the hose is going to move a little bit slower to that vacuum. Anything closer to it is just going to get sucked up really, really quickly. That's kind of how this rolls. So the closer we get to the event, the faster time will move. So it'll kind of start maybe a week out and then just start rolling so much faster. It gets all this momentum going really, really intensely. So that's been going on. But anyway, back to Stargate and full moon energy. So full moon just across the board is about completion and illumination. Those are the two common denominators, and balance. Okay, so we'll add 3. Completion, illumination, and balance. Those are the 3 common denominators in any full moon. And then depending on what sign it's in, adds those influences as well. So here we have the Leo full moon, this first full moon of this year, 2024. And Leo brings in a lot of very, very strong energies. And I'm a Leo. I am an ascending or rising sign Leo. Any Leos in the house? Sun sign, moon sign, earth sign, or rising sign Leos, please let me know. I'm interested. Oh yeah, and don't forget to give me some likes on this live, everybody. I appreciate it. So Leo is can be very tied into being seen, being heard, and seeing and hearing. Very alert, very what's going on energy, very creative, very passionate. It's a fire sign. It's a mutable sign. It's a very intense sign. Think of lions, Leo. I mean, this is very intense energies. And then we couple that with the Lionsgate. Let's see. KJ Bowen is a Sun Leo. Wow, Sun Leo. Well, awesome. I love that. So you probably really feel the Lionsgate. Any Leos around the Lionsgate has a lot going on because that's your birth month. It's your sun sign. That is, it's a lot going on around then. Thanks and welcome, KJ, to the live. And that's awesome. Another Leo. Any other Leos with us? Leos are awesome. And this energy with the Lionsgate really surprised me. When that came through, I was like, yo, what? Because that doesn't usually happen very often, where a full moon, not a Stargate, not a like Stargate and Stargate. And we do have Stargates every single month of the year, starting 1/1 to 1/11, 2/2 to 2/12, all the way up 8/8, 8/16 to 12, 12 to 12/22. Every single month we have this like warp speed action, this energy coming in to rearrange stuff in our timelines. The more aware you are of them, the easier they are to navigate and stay on the board instead of falling off and getting bamboozled in the wake of the wave. I do have a video about that on my YouTube page. Let me get that really quick because that I know I don't know how to search posts in Facebook. If anybody knows of a way to search posts in Facebook, that would be great because I want to give you guys the link to my Lionsgate live. But if you search my Facebook again, you just scroll down to August 8th. There's the live. I'm sorry, I meant to get that earlier, but literally I knew an hour and a half ago I was going live today. So let me look up this video about Stargates for those of you who are not aware, because most people are not. It's not an astrology thing, so it's not something astrologers would talk about and or know about. It's well beyond. And let me go to Facebook because it doesn't. Is it posting in my Facebook? Let me see. I'm still learning StreamYard. Oh yeah, there we go. So that video, if you're not aware of what stargates are, that video will explain. So I don't take up a lot of time here talking about stargates, but the basics, the cliff notes are they solidify, dissolve it, and create timelines. So a lot happens in a stargate or within a few days of a stargate. With big ones like 1111, that's 8/8, 11/11, and 12/12 are usually the biggest ones of the year, but any of them can be tied to other things. So that's not a hard, fast rule or law by any means. But the Lion's Gate is definitely, and it really collapses timelines in a way that the other stargates don't. And it makes them for future timelines. It's not like for not just right then, but what's happening in the future. This ripples out. So the way that that stargate is connected to this full moon is think about your timelines that were in play in August that are no longer in play now. This could be all sorts of things that are in your life or in the collective that have shifted. And the big thing about this full moon that came through so astonishingly strong is for those of us that are really looking forward in our healing, evolution, rebirth, spirituality, spiritual connections, energy work, and all this kind of good stuff we are being activated to really see where we're looping timelines, where we're repeating events and situations, archetypes, and thematic things going on in our lives, because that essentially is a waste of time. We're having to go, yes, characters can change and details can change, but thematically, we all as humans deal with these loops. This is what we can say. This thing always happens to me. I always meet this type of person. This is what always happens in my job. This, whether it's good or bad. Typically, we want to transcend the loops of time that and experiences that keep coming around. And when we do that, it's because we got the lesson. We figured out what needed to be adjusted and changed so we don't experience it again and again. We want to move forward. And that's why we have stargates to help us move forward, to help us collapse timelines, dissolve timelines, things leaving, things coming in, things getting stronger, things tend to, move forward or just like out of the blue snap and happen in stargates, especially stargates on top of like eclipses, on top of full moons. I mean, expect massive change when these things happen, not only then, but going into the future. And this combination of the Lion's Gate and this new moon is coming in so strongly about really the awareness coming to the surface for us to see better, clearer what we've been repeating or what we haven't let go of that we should. that no longer serves us. And this isn't like a new thing, in spirituality or whatever. This is always a state of being. We need to let go of what no longer serves us again and again and again. You're very welcome. And move forward I said, you're very welcome to. I just saw that she said, thank you for that. Sorry. And so this really intense Leo energy is kind of like there's a roar going on to even elevate our consciousness even more about what's active thematically and archetypally in our lives that repeat or that we have not let go of, that's still in major play energetically with us. What we need to transcend, move on from, what we need to cut cords from, specifically from the past or the present, so we can move into the future in a way that we have not before. The energies that are going to be coming in starting towards the end, especially of February, when we get close to the 22nd of February, that's going to be a really, really big event. The next big event of the year is 2/22/2024. It's 2 years past 2/22/2022. And I've been already getting knocks on the door and bells chiming about 2/22/2024. So between this day, this full moon, and that next big event, we are being activated in different layers, and there's more coming through with the next couple. Or the next, so the next one after this would be the new moon, and then the full moon comes in right around the time of the 22nd, a couple days later, I think. It's starting to move backwards or forwards. Now I'm confused with which way we're going on the calendar with our moons. Because it's just kind of a spiral every single year. So where it'll be full moons towards the beginning of the month, or new moons at the end of the month, or as it flips and goes, it changes like that. So I'm having a hard time remembering. I think it moves. It's moving forward. So anyway, now is the time, getting back to this full moon, now is the time to really consider taking a look or asking for clarity, asking for awareness, wanting to heal from things that you have not let go of, have not forgiven for yourself and others, have not moved past, has, still have a energetic tie to, that you still have feelings about. Anything you still have really strong feelings about, whether it's sadness, anger, grief, pain, in some kind of pain, and it could be about shame or judgment or abandonment or resentment or where's the other one? There was another one I was just thinking of, and it went in and out. But anyway, any type of real strong negative feeling like that about a situation means you still have real strong energetic ties to that, which means that it is influencing you and your vibration. And so in order to transcend that, you have to acknowledge it, and you have to do the work to cut from that, release from that. And that doesn't mean to forgive, although that's the ultimate. If you can go from disconnecting, which makes it so much easier to forgive, but to just try to forgive a situation in whatever way, it's easier said than done. And if you do energy work to cut cords, that makes it so much easier. Let's see what Cassidy says here. 22 is always a significant number for me that I see all the time. Yeah, it's a really powerful number. It's about Mostly manifesting. When you see the 22s, that is about projecting, mirroring. 1111 is the same, and same way too, because it's two 11s, two twos. You're mirroring, you're projecting, your consciousness is magnetizing. So whether that is positive or negative, that's what's going on. I mean, it can mean other things too, but specifically and usually, two twos will pop up when we're guided to pay attention to where our thoughts are being targeted, or what we're putting energy into, so we can be conscious of it if we're not, or to remind us to be more intentional, so if we want to manifest a certain thing, and just to kind of hone that in. But yeah, 22s are, I see them all the time too. Very, very powerful numbers, most definitely. They're the numbers of creation, of duality, of magnetism, of mirroring, all of those coupling. I mean, I can go on and on with twos. Twos are really, really powerful. I always try to focus on what I'm feeling or thinking when I see it. Perfect. Exactly. Perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. It's just be aware, because this thing is just running a lot of the times. And, we're supposed to be more conscious and more mindful and really control our thoughts. But sometimes, we're human, and we can get in little loops of thinking, and we need to change our station. So this is about either really turn the volume up on the station that you're on, or change that station. You don't want to be there. Stop thinking what you're thinking. And it's usually if we're thinking negatively about ourselves, the situation, the future. We're having anxieties, stresses. We're thinking about other people in a negative way. We're projecting. We're all that kind of stuff. And it's like your guides and guardians are like, stop it. You're going to make it happen. You don't want to have happen. And hence loops. So this is how it's all tied in. Eights is 4 twos. The 222 galactic gate is about manifesting. And here we have in the middle this Leo full moon to illuminate us to our timelines, to our loops, to what we have going on with this type of business in our lives, what we want to accelerate, what we want to put energy into, what we need divine help for, to help create, to help with integrate and activate, what we need help with to let go of, to transcend, to transmute. Is really the name of the game. We don't, nothing ever disappears. It just transmutes. It changes. It moves from this to that. But that's just everything is ever doing at any given time, from the tiniest speck of dust to the biggest glacier or mountain. From a flower, it's constantly moving from one thing to another. And so are we. Thankfully for that. Barbara says, it's been all fours for me since 2021. Fours are another big one. Fours are really, you must be very connected with your angelic guides and guardians. Fours are all about angelics in a big way. Are you an angel? Do you know if you're an angel? Angels see a lot of fours. Double or nothing. Yes, exactly. It is about, that's great. Double or nothing. It really is multiplying. We're multiplying, maximizing. Everything that we're doing is getting maximized, magnetized, mirrored. That's all these things. Which is two things, right? Love it. So it's like, yo, heads up, everybody. You're gonna be like in the face with what needs to be shifted in one way or another. And there's no coincidence to that, as to the timing of when I started my Unstoppable Empath course and monthly membership. It's all about learning and the practice and the regimen and the whole thing of the self-healing practice of cord cutting or energy disconnection and resetting energy cords. We tend to have so many more than we need. We need to cut energy cords. Most people have 15 to 25 cords that need to be cut, and sometimes the same amount that need to be reset. And no, most people aren't doing this. And I've been doing this with my clients and myself for many years now. Now I have a course, and not only do I have a course, it's an extremely affordable, practically giving it away course for $35 a month. We're still in the middle of a live course going through the modules for the next couple of weeks. Anybody who's not in that yet, you are welcome to get in with that. Let me share. Really wasn't planning on like this didn't even really occur to me to talk about this, but here we go. Let me it ends up coming up because it is what I've been working on since July, since right before the Lionsgate. And let me put it here. This is where you can find information on my Unstoppable Empath course and membership. There you go, everybody. It's membership.infiniteempath.com. And that will take you to the information page about this course and membership, where I have live weekly meetings. We have a private Facebook group. There's discounts on one-on-one sessions with me, and it's all centered around knowing and learning how to work with your energy and doing the self-healing practice of cutting and resetting energy cords. And with that comes a ton of benefits. Number one, maximizing your life force energy each and every time, learning, building up your psychic, telepathic, divine connections, learning about the archetypes in your life that are connected to the whatever events that you'll be connecting from, either people, addictions, traumas, what have you. The benefits are just a laundry list of how this can positively or will positively affect you if you go through this regimen. It's the first thing that I do with my clients in my private practice. I've made components of this, given it away on my website, but because of the nature of the work being so intense and so life-changing, people tend to not continue with it, because if they don't have guidance, it's kind of a lot to deal with. So I provide the guidance throughout. It's $35 a month for the Unstoppable Empath course and membership. You can start at any time, and it's going to be, it's ongoing, and the whole regimen takes about 5 to 6 months. So you do it yourself, and I just guide you through the entire process again and again and again, because with each one you do, with each healing session you do for energy cords, which you have to do yourself, just like exercising, sleeping, and eating. Working with your energy cords is something you need to do for yourself. It's not anything anybody can do. I can guide you through it, but I can't. I do other healing stuff that you couldn't do for you, that I can do for you. When it comes to energy cords, that is absolutely just like wiping your butt, something you should do for yourself, and often, and throughout the rest of your life. So as I've seen over the last few years, people, selling energy cord cutting sessions, and I'm like, what is this? But anyway, I teach you how to do it, and I'm super stoked on that. So timing of me working on this course, building it out, and getting it ready to go live and launch like I did on New Moon on 1/11 of 2024. In between all of this other cosmic galactic stuff going on is just something that's divinely orchestrated. I just follow the leader. The leader are my guides and guardians. And this is how I'm guided to do all this great stuff, and provide it a lot of times, not even understanding all that's connected to it. Most of the time, not even understanding all that's connected to it, because it'd be too much for me to, take on and process and actually do the things I need to do until I get to certain timelines. I'm like, oh, this is always hot. And then it's like, So that's why, and that's why, and that's why, but I stopped asking questions a long time ago. I just do as I'm guided. And it just saves a lot of energy. And when I first woke up and started doing all this stuff, channeling and facilitating and healing and stuff, I'd ask so many questions, and they would just come back with, yeah, that's stuff you don't need to know right now. It's because it needs to be this way now. Don't worry about it now. You have other stuff. It would be this constant back and forth with this, just like you would do with a child, until the child finally learned, I'm just going to do what my parent says, and let's just use it this way. That's kind of how it works for me. Thank you. Cassidy says join. It's awesome and so much good info. Thank you. I am really looking forward to being past, honestly, the course part and into the work part. That's where I'm super, super stoked to get to with the Unstoppable Empath course and monthly membership. But anyhow, basically, this is what's going on with this full moon. This is really, really big time. The roar of the lion is coming in to say, yo, what's going on here? What do we need to clear out? What do we need to let go of? What do we need to move on from? What are we still hurting from? What are addictions do we have? What traumas do we have? What blocks do we have? What triggers do we have? What negative shit is in play that's keeping you from maximizing your full potential? Because it's getting real, peeps. We got to really maximize our life force so we can move forward as efficiently and effectively as possible. These lifetimes, unfortunately, are not infinite. My name is Infiniti to remind us of our infinite souls. Unfortunately, none of these infinite lifetimes, because they are very finite. And we only have so much time from the time we're conscious. And for those of you who get conscious early in life, I'm very happy for you. But still, in this day and age, most of us are getting more and more conscious later in life, in our upper 30s, 40s, 50s. I just turned 51 in December, and I feel like, regardless of wherever I've been, that I'm barely getting the ball rolling, really. And even though I've done so much healing and helping other people and knowing things and awareness and channeling and all of these, it's like that was just like getting stuff ready for the big stuff. And I've known it all along, but still, it's like once you really go through it, you're like, oh my gosh, wowza. Like, you've been climbing this mountain for a while and you're like, I'm not even, I mean, where I gotta go still. That's what it's like for so many of us. But these energies are helping clear the path, clear the blocks, clear the triggers, clear the bullshit, clear the negative energy that allows the dark side to come in and manipulate us, to twist our emotions and our mental awareness and take us into places that we should not be. And we're more vulnerable with the more connections and energy that we have in play. Because think about it, like the least amount of themes or topics or whatever, however you want to put that in your life, that are tied to anything negative, the least amount of vulnerability you have to be manipulated with your energy, to be taken down with your vibration, to be put in fear, to activate illusions and stories and a bunch of bullshit that can be in play in your life that should not be running station wise. That station should not even be part of your plan, because if that station is part of your plan, you can land on that station and watch that show, and then the dark side could say, look at let's maximize the negative potential of this and really take you off course. I've seen it happen with far too many people. It breaks my heart, but it is, this is a spiritual war. We are at war. And that's how they play the game. They prey upon your vulnerabilities, and your vulnerabilities are your negative programs, illusions, fears, stories, traumas, addictions, ties to relationships that keep you in loops. That's your vulnerability. So all this light business with the moon and the stargates and our guides and all this awesome magic comes through to even the playing field. And for those of us who are conscious enough to know what's going on and use this to our advantage, we are ahead of the game. So like I said in the beginning, if you're somebody who's working on your evolution, working on your healing, working on your rebirth, working on transcending your previous life and consciousness and living in a way that you are in alignment with your soul missions, your life purpose in this incarnation, you're going to be motivated to do some cleanup and get really active with yourself spiritually, energetically, mentally, emotionally, to get to a place where there's less shit you're carrying around, and really refine those timelines. Get your focus in priority of what's really, truly important for you uniquely. What are you meant to be a part of? What are you meant to create? How are you meant to work with Gaia and your guides and guardians to elevate the consciousness of this dimension and this world and these timelines right now? Because that's what we're here to do. And we get to have sex and be in the sun and eat good food and make babies and all sorts of cool stuff. But really, we need to do that through the lens of we are here to progress, not only for ourselves, but for the all. And I take that very seriously. I take that very seriously, but I also play a lot in my life, and we're meant to do that. We're meant to play with the magic and create magical environments and worlds and situations and scenarios and experiences and relationships for ourselves through this. That's where the high vibe comes in. The more abundance and magic and positive creations and connections that we have on both sides of the veil, the higher we vibe and the more we are effective, the more we can receive and do what we're meant to do. So yeah, I'm very, very serious about all of that because it's beautiful and magical. And I love to help people do that too. And create a world for themselves that is pain-free, beautiful, magical, and easy as possible. That's my motto. Know you, learn you, your special magical ways and what you're connected to and what you're meant to do, because we each have a different piece of this puzzle that's on the board that we're trying to get together so we can create a new paradigm. That's what this is. We're all important. We're all have a big role to play. But in order to play that role, we need to focus on ourselves and what we need to clean up within us, so we can have the clearest timelines and use our guides and guardians to help us. Be active. Don't be passive. Don't just let life happen and be happy with whatever is happening. I mean, that's nice, but you need to be active. You need to be like, I want this. I want my evolution, whatever that, and most, like, a lot of us don't even like, where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. I know where I am. I know where I'm told to be in 3 or 4 steps, and that's good enough for me. That's what I've had to learn. Like, I can't, like, I know I see big things in 10 years, in 5 years, but in order to get that, I got to do today as effectively, as passionately, as inspired, as pain-free, as blocked-free as I possibly can. And that's the only way we're going to move forward. And if we can do that together more and more, the more powerful we're going to be, because one of us alone is pretty freaking powerful. You've seen what you've done. You've seen where you've been. You've seen what you've transcended. You've seen what you've healed. That's big shit. but then we put ourselves together and then it's really big. We just, it's like just, it's like, and that's where this is coming for so long. But the fact of the matter is, for the last 10 years, for many people, there needed to be a lot of prep work done in different ways to get you to the party. This is what I call the party. 2024 is the party. We have like done our chores, we've cleaned up, we've gone to school, we've cleaned our, we've done enough to be like, okay, I can go to the party now. Like I've done a lot of work to be like, I can effectively do me to the next step kind of thing. Let's see. Oh, there's so many comments. Okay. This is so comforting to hear. I'm 43 and still feel like an eternal novice. Oh my God. Yes. I mean, 100%, because we're ever changing and evolving. So it's always going to be new. We're just capitalizing on our innate abilities and what we already know as souls. We just need to it's just like opening up the curtain more and more and just becoming like, ooh, there's reality, there's the world. Oh my God, look at that over there. What's that over there? And then that'll take you off for who knows how long. Oh, what's this over here? And just get, it's like, it's just coming into focus and into play and putting it all together. And as each little bit does, there's a new perception. There's a new perspective that we have to integrate and assimilate to. I mean, this is why we can't be messing around for too long in anything that isn't about that, because that takes a lot of energy and a lot of time. And so I don't think I'll ever feel like I am, it's like, whether it's, the iceberg, it's like, I'm barely at the tip. There's so much below. And I feel like it's both on both sides. Like there's so high to go and there's so deep to go. And we're just in the middle, vacillating between going high and then going deep and going high. And not one is better. We need to do both. If you're a client of mine, I'll be like going high, going deep, whatever, both of those things. We're doing both of those things because we are. And then we're just recalibrating constantly. And if we're doing that effectively, then things are changing pretty frequently that we need to assimilate to, And so we had a lot of that in 2023. I mean, raise your hand if you had a lot change for yourself in 2023. I guarantee you did. Big things happened in 2023. Big, huge changes. Huge, big changes happened in 2023. I mean, good Lord. Like so much. So much. And 2024 is about tightening up what was left and getting it even tighter, and then building on that. And that's where I was guided to do this this course and membership, and my Shaman Circle as well. That's another weekly one. It's a totally different thing, but it's my Awakening Empath Shaman Circle. I highly suggest that you check that out. That's a step above Unstoppable Empath. It's a totally different thing. But anyway, these things are to help us really with our awareness of what's going on with us now. What's going to help you now? Give you more clarity, make you lighter, give you more energy, make things easier. Like I said, easy. Easy is the name of the game. This came into play for me in my life last year. My guides are like, we need easy. It's the least amount of resistance, least amount of tension. Easy. I want to move forward easy. Because, you think about that. Just easily moving forward. I tell you something, it's a lot better than resisting and tension and anxiety and stress and confusion and pain and heaviness and achiness and all the shit. I mean, I lived in a state of energetic hell most of my life. Diagnosed with fibromyalgia finally when I was 25, healed myself through divine guidance when I was 40 or nearly 40. So it's been 11 years, going on 12 years of a completely new reality for me and understanding energy and spiritual connections and divine soul missions and all of this like stuff. It's been quite the ride, people, but I live this shit. This is what I'm programmed to do. This is what I have been incarnated to do, is to have a really, really, really difficult first half of my life in so many ways energetically. I mean, I was getting angel messages and giving psychic readings when I was 5 years old. I was having problems physically since I was less than 1. But nobody put these two things together, that, oh, you could be like super psychic and super energetically and physically in pain, and these things correlate. Things are changing, and now we're getting that together, and more people are understanding. I didn't know that I was an empath until like my mid-40s. I didn't think that my physical shitty existence had anything to do with the energy or the people around me. And most of us don't know that until we know that. Because why would we know that? Why would we think that? You know, especially if you're not a narcissist. I'm like, not everybody's affecting me and I'm not affecting everybody. Well, guess what? Guess what? Okay, I'm missing some comments here. Let me go. I'm so happy to be here right now. Alex says, this is very helpful. Oh, I'm so glad. Yay. Thumbs up from Ryan. I'm so glad I had spiritual awakening last year. I'm so glad too, honey. It's not easy, but it's better than living asleep, you know? Ryan says, I did too. Yay, yay, yay. Thumbs up. Oh my God. Huge. Sorry, I haven't kept up with these. I get so into what's coming through. So much change. 23 was intense. Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Alex says 23 was the best year of my life. I'm so glad to hear that, sweetheart. I'm so glad to hear that. Cassidy. 2023 was the most challenging for me. It was very challenging for me, but it was like taking like, like you have a set of stairs in front of you, like normal people take one step at a time. Well, when there's a lot of change and it's really, really challenging, we're being forced, in quotes, forced on a timeline. And I don't mean that in any way. We have things have culminated to make us take 3, 4, 5 steps on that. You know, when you got to really reach your leg out and you're like, good Lord, holding on to the rail so you can like go up a bunch of steps at a time. And that's challenging because you're like, good Lord, oh my God. We got a big one here. What does it say? No, I am actually not into spells or spell casting or anything that has to do with that. Sorry, or people spamming in my life. Don't do spells, people. Don't go to spellcasters, people. Oh my God, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other topic. Spellcasters and spells are no bueno. You don't need them, and they're a trap for connecting to very, very, very negative energy. So do not do that. It's the opposite of anything I would guide you to do. Okay, sorry about that. Can you talk? Oh, geez. Can you talk a tiny bit about connecting with your guides and guardians? Ryan says, I think mine tends to let me know they're there in the form of an aggressive fruit fly. I know that sounds silly, but you're not off, my love. You're not off, Ryan. You're so funny. They will use anything to get your attention. They are the master puppeteers of nature and work in cohort with Gaia. So anything of nature can be used, animals, elements, plant life, what have you, to get your attention. And they do. I mean, you think about spirit animals. And so a gnat or a fly is a spirit animal. I mean, look it up. Fly, spirit animal, gnat, spirit animal. It's a thing. So it's not just lions and dolphins and owls and wolves and foxes and whatever have you as a spirit animal. They are come in the form of whatever is there to get your attention. And you don't have any pets in your life. My pets get my attention about stuff quite a lot. They help me perceive reality in a different way that I normally wouldn't, because I'm a human. Animals help us with that. This is why I have a gaggle of cats, because they open up portals to dimensions and help us see things, and clear energy as well. They're also fantastic little healers for us energetically too. But I digress. Your guides and guardians will use whatever. And yes, I remember you telling me in one or two of our calls when you're like, this little gnat. And I'm like, all right, and then you're talking about stuff that was coming through or you're thinking about. I can't remember exactly, but I remember just going, this is interesting. A gnat, huh? And it's definitely getting his attention. I think that's so funny. And with that said, I have always seen little gnats or fruit flies, whatever you want to call them, as these tiny little dragon beings. In my last home before I moved, I had a habitat for my fruit flies, because I don't kill anything, or at least I try desperately hard not to kill anything. And I share my space with a lot of insect beings. And I got a lot of, would get fruit or whatever. So if you can actually create a little habitat for your fruit flies, and they end up getting really big for fruit flies, and they look like little dragons. They're so friggin' cute. And you just feed them like apple cores, or I would just feed them fresh fruit. Just cut up a couple of tangerines, and I cut off the top of a big gallon of water bottle that I used to get. And then I'd put all that stuff in there and put some press and seal around it right there in my kitchen. And if you give any insect what they want, which is food and water, they're not all up in your face usually. Just FYI. That's how that rolls. But back to connecting with our guides and guardians. And first and foremost, your guardian angels, those are going to be the ones that are really working to get your attention a lot, and are the ones with you, directly with you all of the time, and are constantly feeding you telepathic information. This is how any great artist has their creations. They're being inspired divinely by their guardian angels. The muse is real, and it's typically a guardian angel or other angelics that are channeling through information. There's so many channelers in the world, channeling, being inspired to create and message, that they're not conscious that they're doing that, but they are. And what's cool though is once you're conscious and you want to connect more and be as effective as possible through that divine connection, that just takes you and your intention to say, I want to receive, I want clarity, I want to understand. And yeah, in the beginning, there's a good chance that you're going to need people who are ahead of you on that scale to help you with the clarity, to open up the channels of information, to help you connect. And then that gets the ball rolling. So whether that's going to a psychic or a medium, or working with me as your ongoing guide, like you and I do, Ryan, or whatever experience is going to a sacred site or having a special healing session or doing ayahuasca or working with other plant medicines like cannabis or mushrooms or any of the other plethora of plant medicines that can help you connect and open up, that ball does get rolling and does get stronger. But first and foremost, it's the intention to do so, to want to connect, to want to receive, to want to, because remember too, the other component of connecting with your guides and guardians means receiving information. Receiving information means to inspire you and motivate you, to guide you to do something or not do something. Again and again and again, which means change, which means a lot of people get stopped right there because the change that would need to activate is resisted. So first you have to be in alignment with truly receiving and then implementing the advice and the guidance that you do receive in whatever form that it comes in. And it can come in many different ways. I frequently, and I know will happen until I'm in all of my incarnations, no matter what, just because this is the way it goes, that I don't directly receive all of my guidance because I'm living in a very detailed, busy dimension in life, and I miss stuff, or I don't catch things, or I don't understand things, especially for ourselves. It's always harder for ourselves. It's easier for other people to go, you don't see this. It's as clear as day. Don't you even get that message? Like 5 times? The person's like, I don't know. It happens to all of us. But anyway, where other people will come in, just the stranger in the store, or the video that I'm guided to, and it's like, oh, it's like a bonk on the head, like, oh, and or your neighbor or whatever that isn't trying to give you spiritual advice will be the speaker box for the spiritual advice. And it's up to us to go, oh, that's a message. They don't even know that they're giving me a message, but it's a more message, or it's a more important and more divine message that even this person's even thinking, because they were triggered to say something to me that maybe they wouldn't have said if, whatever, because that's the message I needed to get. So first off, we need to see that messages come in so many ways, from gnats to neighbors to videos to songs to whatever that it could be, to being guided to work with somebody like me on whatever level and go, that's what you need. This is a well of information, or this is a little string to pull to give you more as you go on, stuff like this. But first and foremost, it's the intention and the dedication to yourself to implement what it is that you're being guided about, and to set your normal station of programming and storytelling, and how it's like, oh, I don't do that, or this, whatever we tell ourselves is who we are, or is what we do or don't do when we're being guided in a different way. I mean, I've had clients on both ends of the spectrum where guidance comes through and they implement, there's no resistance, they do it, moving on to the next thing, moving on. Yep. Do it. Done. Moving on. And then I've had clients who resist everything, every step of the way. And we got to repeat 3 and 4 times before we get through stuff. And it's however that works with anybody. Sure. It's a little less taxing and energetic if it's boom, 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 but not everybody's like that. And sometimes we need to get information again and again. We need to feel it. We need to absorb it. And we tend to forget, things just kind of move forward. It's like, oh, was that a thing? Was I supposed to do that thing? Well, whatever. And then that's what I'm always talking about. When I'm guided to do something, I do it as best to my ability. I'm not at 100% of doing all that I'm guided to do perfectly as I'm guided when I'm guided. Like I said, sometimes I'm guided to get things in different ways for it to really hit. Because, life or whatever. But the intention needs to be there. Like, I truly want to be guided. I want to do my life as best and easy, as high vibe, and help others in that way too. So my intention is there. And I work to master my vibration so I may receive and be in that space to implement as much as I possibly can any moment of the day. That is the best I can possibly do. And if I quote unquote make mistakes or don't get stuff all the time, I need to acknowledge that and move on and not dwell on it. I didn't fuck up anything. I just didn't do it that way. That wasn't the way it was meant. So I needed to do it this other way. Whatever. Moving on. Moving on. We need to just move on. Let's do it. Kind of thing. So I hope that helped give you a little bit more clarity and understanding. Maybe he had to go. I'm not seeing more. You still there, Ryan? No, I can't read. I ran down those fucking stairs. You're so funny. Alex says, yucks, I don't like it too much. I don't like it too. I meant, oh, yep, he's here. That was good. Okay, good. Sweet. Okay, good. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe you were talking about the spell stuff, Alex, or moving too fast. I'm not sure. Sorry, I did not connecting when you said that. Cassie says I am so funny. Thank you. One day I'll be a stand-up comic, maybe in this lifetime, maybe in another. I do love comedy. I do love making people laugh. Laughter is great medicine, and we should laugh as much as possible at ourselves. I'm laughing all day long. I laugh all day long at some things. At one thing or another, I'm laughing all day long. And that's the way we gotta be. We gotta be that way. About the spell casting. Okay, that's what I thought. You cracked me up. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad I cracked you up. We have to laugh at all of this. At all of it. We gotta laugh at it. It's funny stuff. It's wild. It's mind-blowing. There's so much in play that we can't see, that we can only feel if we're really making an effort to tap in. But one last thing I want to say about this thing with getting direction and intent and taking, all of that is, like I said earlier, I was receiving angel messages for people when I was 5 years old. I didn't, I just would know stuff, and I would feel this angelic. I was 5 years old. I knew I was a very old soul, very, very young. The thing that my parents would hear from people constantly is how mature I was, because I acted and I spoke and I behaved like an adult in this little child body. And I'm sure it was really weird for the adults around me, but to me, it was very normal. I loved hanging out with kids and playing with kids too, but I really enjoyed the company of adults. And I would, after they realized that I could receive all these very spot on messages that I couldn't possibly know, I was doing these weekly meetings with the neighborhood, and people would come and ask me questions and guidance and stuff. But what would happen is I was repeating myself to the same people about the same shit every freaking week. And that was exhausting. Very exhausting. And I started to resent it because all the kids were outside playing and I was in with all the adults, and they just inevitably, most of them, some of them did listen, and things got good for them. And they would try to tell the other adults, you should listen. I felt like a pony doing a show for fun, but people did not implement. And that's what I didn't understand as a child is, adults are resistant and scared, and they want, but they also are afraid of change. So they want things to get better. They want things to change, but they're afraid of change. at the same time. Why? It's just because to me it was very like, okay, you were told to do this. What's the problem? Why haven't you done this yet? Because the advice has not changed. So I would get like really irritated, like anybody, any other person. It's like we've been through this. Why are we repeating this? You know, as I've gotten older and gotten into the, the actual work of helping people spiritually and giving guidance and advice, obviously I've transcended that. But as a child, it was very frustrating. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is to just bring home the fact that we need to be receptive, not resistant to the changes we need to make if we want to see things change in our lives. They don't just happen. We need to make them happen. We need to make decisions. We need to do the things. We need to decide we want a thing or we don't want a thing. And we're manifesting the things in every moment of every microsecond is a decision. Is what we're thinking, is what we're intending, is where we're going with ourselves. So are we in despair? Or are we angry? Are we mad? Are we resentful? Are we judgmental? Are we resisting and complaining and talking about 5, 10, 20 years ago and how it fucked me over about whatever it was? And we're so bitter and angry about all that and it's affected everything. I mean, what do we expect? When we're victims. But when we are sovereign, when we take control, we say, okay, I don't want to be manipulated by just myself and whatever circumstances have been. I need to do things differently, to experience life differently. And I'm getting the feeling that I have something to do with that. That's consciousness. Does my reality is a reflection of me and what is going on with me? Yep, it sure is. It 100% is. 100% is. So then we have to say, if that's the truth, then where are the things in my reality that I don't want to be in my reality anymore? Had it up to here. I'm done feeling this way. I'm done experiencing this. I want a different outcome. I want this instead. And then how do I do that? How do I get that instead? What is that about? I don't know, because I've been doing all this other things. So how would I know how to get that instead? How do I do that? Why am I here? What's the purpose of me being here and experiencing things the way that I have? These are all questions that have answers. The thing is that we assume that there's no answers to these questions, but there are. There are answers to these questions. And when we get quiet and we want the answers, we will get the answers. It's magical. Ask and you shall receive is absolutely a thing and the truth. You ask and you shall receive. You will. Your hallelujah in the body spirit walk literally had me LOL during the meditation. It was awesome. Oh gosh, I don't even remember that. I did that. She's referring to a spirit walk that you can do. Anybody who has not done it yet, it's the body love. Is that the one that you did? The body love and meet your guardian angel. I think that's the one you're talking about, right? Body spirit walk. Let me get you guys, if you have not yet, or even if you have, and it's been a while, this is a great one. It is called Body Love and Meet Your Guardian Angel Spirit Walk Healing Meditation. I channeled and recorded. That's weird. Why isn't that working? Hold on. I channeled and recorded on Valentine's Day, I think 2 years ago. Yeah, there we go. Okay. 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I think maybe it was in 21. I don't know. Whatever. And so I can't remember exactly. You're like talking about specifics of what I said, and I don't remember what that was, but I'm glad that you liked it. It's amazing if you haven't done it. Oh my God. And there's 4 other ones that are all really amazing. I literally channeled these back to back to back days in this period in February. It was really intense energies coming through. And that one really, the body love part is literally like what it says. You love to love and connect and ground in with your body. And that sets you up for so much more. And if you're in my Unstoppable Empath group, you're guided to do this and the other spirit walks, because all these spirit walks will set you up for the energy cord work that we're going to do. But even if you're not part of that, I suggest you do these. They're free on my website. There's a whole playlist of them. Very, very powerful. There's one for the money wound and abundance and reconnecting to the inner child, transcending fear, shame, judgment, imposter syndrome, the money, all this stuff. They're all really, really awesome. And I channeled them back to back to back to back to back. A couple years ago. So anyway, there's the link to that on my website. Or if you go to my website into the more menu, it says channeled spirit walks. But there you go. She says they're so good. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like them. They're all amazing. But that one last night was exactly what I needed. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's a really... I remember how that one feels. I don't remember the details of it. I just remember how it felt so. I never felt my body like that before. And I had been loving my body since my awakening. I went from thinking it was a prison, hating my body, to loving my body and my story. But then that spirit walk, of course, it was on Valentine's Day, to love yourself and but on a different level, really, 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 really feel and connect to your body and see and perceive your body in a way that you haven't before, and really have love and reverence and respect and want to be as gentle and kind, and really think about how amazing our bodies truly are, because they really, really are. They're magical. These bodies are magical. They are. They're so magical. The shit that these bodies do, the energy they produce, and what we can do in these bodies is mind blowing. Mind blowing. Most people have no idea. No idea. But we can't do shit if we think poorly and are talking shit about our body. Think about it. I have a bad back. My body's this. I can't do that. This, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I don't like my nose. I don't like my ass. I have bad knees. Or, talking shit about your body, not a good idea. Because your body's where everything comes from, magically, manifestly, and everything else. And that is a word I've just decided, manifestly. Oh my God. Making up words here. Best I've ever done, and I do a lot of them. Oh, wow. That says a lot. Yeah, it really is. Alex says, we'll check it out. Oh, yeah, you should if you have not done it yet. Cassie says, you won't regret it. No, you won't. Good. Check it out. It is pretty awesome. It really, you come out of that. And not only that, it's not only the body love thing, but it's like with the body love, it's connecting or meeting your guardian angel. And like I said earlier, that's huge. So you get, it's a wham, bam kind of spirit walk for you with that one. And it's not that long. I think it's around 25 or 30 minutes. I don't think it's super, super long. But yeah, really grounds into your body, really connects you into your power of really having reverence and love for your physical body. And again, everything comes from your physical body. So you need to have a really the best relationship and connection and love for your body. Really love your body. Most people don't. I didn't for like a long time, 40 plus years of my life. I hated my body. And wanted the hell out of it ASAP. Talk about transcending. Now I love my body. I think it's amazing and magical, and I want to stay in it as long as I possibly can. And I mean, I'm like getting like I'm thinking like I live a very active lifestyle on this mountain, living in the mountains and having to start a fire every time you want to be warm really connects you to your body and to Gaia. And I'm like, I'm 50 doing this. I'm going to be doing this type of thing for a long time because I want to be here for a long time. I'm just motivating myself to keep up the energy. I've done that one 3 times now, and I get more every time. Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, you know what? I suggest all of these spirit walks you do at least twice. If it's been more than a couple, 3, 4 months since you've done them, do them again. Because we're never done and things wear off. Shit happens. We need refreshers. When people work with me on my Evolve Now program and they get their really deep healing sessions with me that last for hours, 2 different days in a week, they get those recordings to repeat every single month for themselves because you need maintenance. We need maintenance and we need up. We need to keep on tick, 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 tick. And that's infinite. We can go and go. We can go and go and go as far as how much we can connect to ourselves and how much power we can concentrate and direct and to use for ourselves, for healing others, for alchemy, for manifesting, all of those things. The more you're connected to a healthier and healthier body that is autonomous and not connected to a bunch of energy that shouldn't be, and the more you're connected spiritually, the more power and the more abilities and the more can come through for you. Really, there's so much that we can assimilate to and integrate. It's quite amazing and fascinating. Okay, so I've been talking for a long time now. We've been going, hey, Karen. Just got on, Miss. Aw. Yeah, I was just going to say, I've been going on for an hour, almost a whole hour and a half already. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. As you can see, I'm very excited, very energetic. Actually, yesterday, like somewhere in the later afternoon, I got so tired. I mean, I was more tired last night than I had been in a long time. Even on my busiest days, I was just like, I was going to record a podcast about this. I was like, I can't. I was just like, I was guided, like, you cannot. Sometimes I'll push it through the tired if I am tired. But yeah, today feels very different. A lot of energy today, even being guided to do this live, like I haven't done in a really long time. And I have a live later on for our group, the Unstoppable Empath. We're going through the next module 2 today at 5:00 p.m. Pacific. Not too late to join in. Anybody who's interested in the Unstoppable Empath and working with your energy cords, really maximizing your life force, I highly recommend. But you can come in whenever the time is right for you to get going with this. But let's move on, because I can talk about all this stuff for forever. I really can. You guys know that. I really can. So I think I'm being guided to get an oracle card. So just give me a second here. Let me tap in with that. Oh, and the yawns start when I do this. Holy moly. Oh, God. And I do have a meeting at 2:00. So that is a thing. We're being guided towards, what do you know? The Moonology deck. I haven't worked with this deck in quite some time. Great deck. Sometimes I'm guided to, here we go. We've got the book here. Let's get a card. Everybody, how's that sound? Let's get a card from the Moonology deck. See what messages come through about. Even on top of what we've been discussing for the last hour and a half, I just got on, missed the beginning. We'll watch all this divine messages later today. Okay, yes, watch them when you have the chance. Barbara says, this was amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome, Barbara. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you follow my page. And if you haven't been to my website yet, go to my website, Infinite Empath Transfigurations, or just infiniteempath.com. You can get to that link on my Facebook page. What is going on with my hand right now? Itching right here. Weird. Like numb and itching at the same time. But thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. All of you, thank you so much for being here, joining me here today. I'm going to move this. Just see if this is going to. No, you're not going to. Nope. Okay. Get zoom out a little bit and move this down a little bit, but it's not responding the way I want. The opposite. Do. Oh, I guess that's just going to be the way it is. Okay, so let's get a card. Oh, got two cards. Look at this. Oh, we got interesting. We got two new moon energy cards for this full moon, which is always, I find interesting. But anyway, it says just new moon, new start is coming. And it's time to take action. New moon in Aries, which is coming up. I think, is that next month? Yeah. Interesting. Well, most definitely, we talk about these timelines converging, collapsing, solidifying, dissolving. That's all about new starts, new beginnings. And so it's really, really interesting always when we get some new moon energies in on the full moon or vice versa. To me, that just amplifies and it takes us kind of in two directions. Think of the last new moon, think of the next new moon, and what we are manifesting right now, what we're connected to right now. A new start is coming and it's time to take action. I love this so much. Very much in alignment with what we've been talking about. This definitely is a new start. So much change happened in 2023, like we talked about. Here in 2024, this is when it's going to blossom and we're going to see what those changes are really truly have set up for us. And I always see it like, like stamping down the ground and, building a foundation where you're going to build your home, your layers of, your stories in your home of life moving forward and what's coming. And yeah, a lot of that, all new start is coming. Most definitely. And I see this as in a lot of ways about perception, about how we perceive and higher consciousness. That is and what that higher consciousness is going to get us to take action about, to get really serious about, you know what I'm saying? Like to be like, all right, like I've been, you ever been through those periods of your life where you're like, I want to clean the garage. I want to take that course. I want to leave my whoever or get a new job. I want to have the energy and the inspiration to do that thing. We've all been there. This is that happening again and again in different ways for us. That push to make those changes happen, to have the new start, not just to want the new start, but to actually feel like, oh, here's what I've been waiting for. That's like the catalyst that's going to push me to actually motivate me to make those changes, that sort of thing. That's what this is talking about. These cards are talking about. So that's like this new start and take action, again, very much connected to our consciousness about what is being rearranged, what we need to let go of, resolve, and then further put ourselves into. So it's like, so we're taking stuff to the dump and then we're diving in other things. So stuff needs to go so we can get in deeper into other things. That's just how it rolls, especially in the game of spirituality and ascendance and healing and all that stuff. Things need to go in order for us to make room for what needs to come in. We just cannot energetically, spiritually, vibrationally have too many things that are in opposition of where we're where we truly are being pulled and magnetized, that vacuum energy, this acceleration of time and magnetism into the future. That's what that is. When time is going by fast, we're having an acceleration into the future. So we need to get our ducks in a row about what's coming into the future. Those things are connected. Cassidy says, so much had gone and I can't wait to see what comes next. Yes, exactly. Here, my dear. Here. I have had a lot go as well. And that's about our perception too. A lot of times you say, I've lost a lot. But we've also gained a lot as well. And then we need to settle, let the dust settle from all of that chaos of leaving and space and rearranging. And now, all of that is when any one big thing leaves our life, a person, a job, a geographical area, animals, even going from unhealthy to healthy. That's a lot to assimilate to. I mean, I've seen it happen with me. It happens with a lot of my clients. Okay, I'm not in chronic pain anymore. I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm not in a prison of my own body, but this is the new reality I need to get used to. It doesn't, not just woo, there it is, everything's great. No problem, seamless. It's not like that at all. We need transitional time to assimilate to everything going on. That's something I had to learn for myself. It's something I had to learn for my clients and guide people through that. And go, this goes we need to, the transition, the process of change and all that is a huge part of it. Not just the event that changed things, but everything that comes after that you need to get used to and feel okay. For example, I moved, like I said, I moved from Southern to Northern California, moved to a new house. I moved in the beginning of January. It was actually the full moon in January, the day I moved, or that weekend I moved in. And I think it was just the other day. I'm okay, this place is starting to feel normal and comfortable and kind of like my new home. Just now, just barely, because of everything that gets torn up and put in a tornado and a tsunami, and you're your whole everything. And that's just what we deal with in, different scales. But a lot of us do go through those. I mean, I've moved 4 times since my spiritual awakening, because each one has been another step in the direction, in the area of where I needed to be energetically and everything that is connected to. But that's a very real life example, but metaphorically, theoretically, it's the same type of thing energetically that happens with big change. So that's just, something to think about. We need that transition. We need that time to just be we're not robots. We need to get used to things being gone, people being gone, us being gone from other people or other places or other or animals or whatever, that it was, or a job or whatever, all of the things. And a lot of the times it's all of those things. I mean, my list contains all of those things again and again and again and again. Not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, but again and again and again in a very short amount of time over the last decade. And, you barely get like, okay, I feel like, okay, alrighty. And next thing you know, bam, it happens again, and bam, it happens again. Like, really? Those are the hard parts. And that's when, it can be, we can only process so much at any given time. And sometimes we have the reverb of that months later, years later, we're emotionally and mentally dealing with the shit that went down months or years before, because so much was happening that now it's all like layered up and stacked up. And now that is what's going to tip us into our new paradigm. That tipping point, because each little event and change is not the tipping point. The tipping point is when we have a lot of them, like books stacking up, and then they fall. When that fall happens, that creates a paradigm shift. And in that paradigm shift, a lot of the fears, the illusions, the grief, the anxiety, the stress comes. And it's then where we're making really our timelines for the future, how we process and what is going on through the tipping point, through the threshold. It's also known as the threshold or the gateway. They're all the same. And there's gate masters that help us to slow our roll if the tipping point is happening faster than we're mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, or energetically ready for. We'll feel a pullback. And we may want that tipping point, but if it's not happening, then we're not ready. And then when it happens, we're like, oh, this is it. This is it. This is it. It's usually in alignment with some, full moon Stargate business, as usual. That's how that goes. That's it. Exactly too much to process at this time. And just now at the time, I think she said, and just now feeling it all. Yeah, exactly. There's just too much. You have to just, when things are happening so quickly and change is happening so quickly, there's literally a tornado. This is how I like how to describe it. You can't rearrange your yard during a tornado. You're not painting your home during a tornado. And that's like what it is. It's like the tornado is going on and you're just living through the tornado and watching shit fly by and just be like trying to get out of the way and stay, like food in my belly, lights on and off, whatever the basics are. And then once that tornado stopped, it's like a ginormous mess that you're just like, okay, I have to just like walk around all the debris because I can't clean up all this shit right now. I've got stuff to do. And then eventually you circle around it and around it and around it. And there's enough that's gotten cleared out of the way that you can sit there and process the tornado that just happened. And that whole thing happens over and over and over again. So these messages and all of this energy about this time is about that. Is to motivate us and to inspire us to let us acknowledge it, to feel it, to see it, and to move forward in a way that gives us the clarity that is needed to say, this is where I'm pointing my laser. What just happened? That was weird. This is where I'm pointing my laser. And now I have that clarity to go, that's where I'm going. Even if it's just a couple steps ahead. This is what I'm doing with myself. This is where I'm at. This is what I want connected. This is what I don't want connected. This is where I'm putting my energy. Simplify some shit. And now here. That's it. Sometimes it's just one step ahead, 2 steps ahead. Just keep it going because now it's clear. I've gotten all this stuff is clear. I didn't want all this stuff to be gone and cleared and all the chaos. I didn't ask for that necessarily consciously. That's just like the way that it happens. People get sucked out. People get thrown in. all of these things are happening at the same time, and you're just like whiplashing around and what's here and what's gone and what was just there a second ago and now it's not there anymore, and you weren't here a minute ago and now you're here, and it's wild. It's our little conscious human brains are just like, oh, trying to like make sense of it. And many of us think we're absolutely nuts many times through a spiritual awakening, because it is that much chaos, that much upheaval. That's the tower moment in the tarot, again and again and again. It just blows the whole top of your tower off. And like you see, it's like the tower card in the tarot, people are upside down, shit is flying everywhere, there's smoke and fire. That's a tower card. And so much of our reality, of the collective reality, of our individual reality, the micro and the macro, has been and was and still dealing with aspects of the tower. And we're just now going, okay, so the fire's out. Yeah, the fire's out. Okay, let's see what's going on now. And can go but what's really cool about that is look at how strong we are. Look at what we transcended. Look at what we lived through. Look at what left that we didn't think we could not be with or couldn't ever see leaving. Look at what's come in that we couldn't have imagined for ourselves. Look at how stronger we are. And that's the thing. It's like, you know what? I know if I'm under psychic attack or just paradigm shifting stuff or all of it at the same time, and things are coming and going and things are being influenced by the light and the dark, and I'm in the middle and all this crazy stuff is going on, that as long as I stay true to myself and authentic to what I'm and responsible and try to keep this vibe as high as possible and not let myself get sucked into fears and whatever crazy things can come up to take us down. And I just, keep coming up. Just nope, I'm not going down. I keep coming up. I'm stronger. We realize, damn, look at how strong I am. Look at what I just went through. Look at what did not take me down, that did not make me spiral, that did not go in a direction that I didn't want it to go in. Like, I took control and I went through that. And yeah, there's still shit I need to process because, some of this stuff really hurt and I haven't been able to process it just yet. But I'm working on it. I'm being bit by bit, I'm being shown, where the hurt spots are, where the wounds are that I need to tend to. And I'm going to tend to them because they need tending to. But damn, I could have let it go so much worse than it did. And if I went through it, is because I needed to go through it to show me all sorts of stuff, but mostly that I could, and how strong I am now, how much stronger I am for it, how much more resilient, how much more independent, how much more in control, and how much more sovereign I am now. Look at that. Well, shit, look at that. Look at me. Huh. That's pretty good. I did pretty good, Give yourself a pat on the back. Let your guides and guardians come in and just shower you with all sorts of inspiration to buy yourself flowers and buy yourself that crystal and buy the new pair of shoes, or take yourself on a weekend trip and just sit and bask in the glory that is you, that have gone and what you've gone through and what you transcended and what you lived through and what you didn't let take you down. Because that's the truth. Give yourself a little gifty, give yourself a little pat on the back, sit and watch the sunset and go, holy shit. Just let it come over you. Let it settle in. Let it ground in. It may take, a couple weeks, because, it did for me over and over again, where I'm like, okay, this reality is going to settle in. It just, it's like a slow drip, because there's only so much I can process at any given time. I am human after all, but I'm learning. I'm pretty freaking strong for a human. I can do some shit. Cassie says, I love this. Hallelujah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, truly. I mean, how often our guides are like, Yes, yes, and so like excited for us, so happy for us. So like you need to see what you've done, human, beautiful, divine, incarnate, what you're living through in the spiritual war and everything coming to try to take you out, including your own ascension. I mean, that's just a test after test after test. Are you worthy of experiencing more and more and being responsible for more and more power to and through you? More awareness is more you have. It's that cliche. The more power comes more responsibility. That shit is true. So we need to be tested. It sucks, but that's just the way that it goes. And on so many levels, we need to be tested mostly so we can know that we are strong enough to do it. Not for them. They know that we can do it. It's not like we're proving anything to anybody else. It's for ourselves. It's to go, whoa, I know I can do that. Look what I did. Look at how I did it. Look at how fast I did it. Look at what didn't happen. Look what did. Oh my God. And you wouldn't know any of that if you didn't live through it. That's just the way that it goes. It's just the way that it goes. It's like we watch a child learn that they can get up and walk, and they're like, wow, look at me, I can walk. And you're like, yeah, I always knew you could walk. Of course you can walk. Of course you can get up and walk. I can run. And then they bonk their head and they're like, oh, that hurt. And I'm like, yeah, walking and running can hurt. Sometimes you got to learn that too. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. We don't know until we know. We don't have the experience until we do have the experience. We don't, that's how it is. Look at any athlete, look at anybody who's created anything. They didn't know they could do it until they did it. And then they're like, wow, look what I could do. And then you know what? Maybe I could do it again. And then you can. And then you can do better and stronger, more efficient. Everything, anything. This is the same thing. It's connected to everything. So, there's a lot to deal with, a lot to process. We're growing and evolving and changing and connecting and expanding on all of the levels in every aspect of our life, in all four corners, in all directions, with all the elements. That's a lot of shit. Plus, these incarnations, we're meant to clean up a lot of our karma. A lot of the stuff that we came into, like long lists of things, laundry lists of things that we're meant to transcend, to heal, to connect to work with in so many ways. And we need to experience those things in order to do it. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, yes, hallelujah. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. You're so welcome. And I hope that all of this has helped everybody feel really good about where you're at and what you're doing and where you're going and where you've been, and to really integrate with the incoming energies. And again, if you have not, if you did not watch and you did not do my Lionsgate 2023 on 8/8, August 8th, 2023, if you did not do that spirit walk or did not watch that live, I highly suggest that you do, because it will help you so much energetically, mentally, emotionally, consciously, energetically, physically, process through the energies that are coming now to help you understand, acknowledge, integrate, and transmute through this. Like I said, this is a big push that we're going to be through all the way to 2/22/2024. And I'm probably going to be doing some event for that. So look out for it. It's already come through. Hey, knock, knock. We got stuff going on. And so I did a big thing for 2/22/2022. I did a workshop, a whole big thing. It's not going to be that. It's going to be something. So heads up on that. Follow me if you don't already follow me, or subscribe to my website, all the things, so you don't miss anything. I'm inspired. Thank you, Ryan says. Yay! I'm so glad. Cassie says, she's on a roll. Yes, I am. Yeah, the energy comes through. Like I said, I get super excited about this stuff. Really, really helpful and inspiring. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I love you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know I promised a spirit walk, but The problem is I'm supposed to be at at another meeting at 2:00, and I have our live later on. And we have talked for quite some time. Hopefully, this has been just energetically uplifting as a spirit walk would be. And I may even be guided to record something later on, or even tomorrow. We're still going to be in full moon energies, or who knows what. If I'm truly meant to do that, I will do that for you. I don't like to not, deliver when I say I'm going to do something, but I truly at this point don't have time. I do need to have some break with my dogs before I get into another meeting, and then I have another one later on. But I hope that this has been just as helpful and inspiring for you. And if you really want to do, like I said, do that if you are really feeling a spirit walk and to do some energy work, go back and do that Lionsgate one. I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to put it in the comments of this live. I'm sorry I didn't have it ready for you, but going back like 5 months or whatever it's been is kind of a lot. I don't want to have all that dead air. Or go to that other link on my website. There's 5 different spirit walks there. You can do that today, connected with the full moon. But it was really great doing this today with you all. Thank you so much for being here. Cassie, Barbara, Alex, and Ryan, and whoever else came in and was watching, I thank you so much now. Going to do that now. Yay, go and do that. Have a great rest of your day. Some of you I'll see later in the live for our Unstoppable Empath, and I'll be around sooner than later. I'm sure everybody else have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy full moon. I love you. Goodbye. See you later, alligators. Bye. Bye for now. Dogs are already coming. They know when I say bye that I'm getting a yes, I am. They're so cute. Okay, bye, guys.